we're going to do today just a little bit different because you know what? We got some stuff to talk about, I think. You know what? I'm going to skip the ads today. If you need trucking insurance and you're looking for trucking insurance, go look up our people, Seabright. They've got some amazing offerings, and you don't have to be a Swift contractor. If you're an owner operator and you need insurance for your trucking business, go look up Seabright Agency. You can find the number down there in our notes. If you need a fuel card, ES Advantage, you can go to ES Success and Trucking ESSuccessandtrucking.com/CC and go there and sign up for the card. Other than that, we're going to jump right into this thing, and I'm going to throw Jeff up on the screen because he's not ready for this.
I'm always ready.
Hey, man, what's going on, brother?
Scouts out, brother.
Man, right? Look,
Always
today's
ready.
been one of them days, bro. I'm fighting a migraine. We got weather. Who knows if I'll have power in 2 seconds from now or an hour from now? I don't even know. It's been in and out. Longest outage has been about 2 minutes. Whatever. Who cares? Power, internets. Who needs that crap?
It's all good, man. It's all good.
It's all good. It's all good. So, just before we were getting ready to go live on this, I was checking email earlier and I got something from Transport Topics. And what they're talking about is this damn thing from our current administration, not picking a political
Yeah,
side.
whatever.
What I'm saying is there's a thing coming out, y'all. And the administration announced a final rule that is being published tomorrow on the Federal Register about what makes a contractor versus an employee. And it's got an effective date of March 11th. The ATA and some other folks are going to be fighting this thing, but I just think that maybe we talk briefly about it. I was trying to read through it, and when I opened it up, it's 339 freaking pages long in a PDF file that I have. And there are 6 things, and it's the economic reality test to determine economic dependence, right? You got to,
Economic dependence.
yes, and that's what they're gonna figure out whether or not you're a contractor, or you're an employee, and there's some craziness in here, and they're doing some voodoo with words, and I don't like it. But some people with lots of money and clout are gonna get up behind this and start fighting this. The problem is we're getting real close to this thing being a thing, and I'm not gonna lie, it's a little unsettling.
A little concerning.
It
I
is.
haven't read it yet, so I don't.
It's a lot, bro. I was trying and it put me into a migraine. Here I am. I'm here. I just took a
I'm
couple of
probably
pills.
gonna have to print it out at home and read it that way.
Dude,
That much reading on a
339
screen
pages.
will give anybody a migraine, man.
Oh my God. It's not cool. Anyhow, you know what? Hey, what's going on, everybody? Craig was first. Everybody, big shock. Oh, Craig was first at 244. That bastard just
Craig.
stole this,
My wife's starting to get jealous here.
right? Dude,
I'm
he
just
even
saying.
beat me into the damn thing. I didn't even actually get in here till 3:15. And I'm like, geez, look at Craig. He's already got it up and ready. He's like, man, this guy. Hey me, hey me, hey me. He was here earlier. Don't know if he's still here, but he was here earlier. He watches us on replay
Yeah.
most days. Trucker Dan's all up in this place. He's in Wyoming. He's stuck, Jeff.
Yeah. We were talking earlier in the chat about that, and the weather's been pretty much dominating the chat so far,
Right.
and a little
It's
bit about
everywhere too.
OTR mileage. So maybe we talk about those things a little bit.
Right. I mean,
Um,
folks down in Texas, it's warm, but it's windy
mhm.
down there even.
And if you're in Florida, it's
It,
hot,
yeah,
and you're
dude,
losing power for every couple hours.
it was like 40 something degrees yesterday and last night, right? And
You
just
actually had
before the
your
storm
heater
hit,
on in the house yesterday, right?
I was freezing when we got home last night. And then, extra blankets on the bed and all that nonsense, right? And then a little bit before the storm hit, damn near 80 degrees. And just the scary looking sky, like it was gray and dark and swirly, and just clouds were hauling that butt past us. I mean, they're like, chung, 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 chung. I'm like, whoa, that's fast. Every now and then you see a bird go like this, shoo, like, whoa, that dude was cruising.
Right.
I want to see one try to go the other way. I'm just saying. It wasn't going to be able to do it.
So yeah, I was in the Facebooks chatting away earlier,
Oh, Facebooks.
And so here's what happened with me. I'm going to tackle two of the things that we've been talking about real quick: the OTR mileage and the
Right.
weather. Because the only reason why I didn't hit my weekly minimum expectation this week was weather.
Mm-hmm.
I have actually seen the OTR mileage go up slightly, not by a whole lot. We're not at 3,000 miles a week again, like we were 2 years ago. But I haven't seen over 2,000 miles a week consistently in what, 9 months OTR. You know, we have all these guys saying, "Well, you guys are moving because." No, I'm not moving. That's the point. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm not moving any better than the rest of you.
Right.
I don't, I have my contacts, but it's not like, right, dude, Charlie. Remember when we used to be able to call our contacts and say, "Hey, man, come on, what do you got?"
Right. There
So
were times when it would work.
those guys will get fired for that right now,
For real.
straight up fired if they get caught giving people favors. So that's just not a thing right now. But I have seen my mileage increase over the past couple of weeks, um, and it's been pretty good. Weather has been the bane of my existence. So I just spent the last 2 days basically in snow.
Well,
I would have
damn
been
it, Jeff. Your YouTube channel should be able to control the weather.
right.
Sorry, bro.
I would have been stuck right there with everybody else in
Oh
Laramie,
God.
basically, if I had taken this load all the way through. And here's the thing, Charlie. So here's something you guys can do with the weather stuff. All I did was I messaged Lincoln in Troutdale. She's our new OOC out of Troutdale. Um, and I said, "Hey, I'm looking at the NOAA weather report. I'm looking at the National Weather Service, and they're saying
Right.
this wind is not dying down until tomorrow night. And
Right.
you know what's going to happen is that red. This is how long the advisory is. It's going to keep going past
Yeah.
tomorrow night, most likely, because they only really can predict about 24 to 48 hours reliably. So I'm like, so do you want me to just get as far as I can get and wait, or do you want me to drop this one in West Valley City and get something else?"
Right.
And the interesting thing happened. She's like, "Well, are you willing to go to LA?" And I'm like, "Instead of that storm, yes."
Right.
And so I drop my load here. It'll go whenever the storm lifts. They have that shuttle that goes down to Pueblo, so they'll probably put it on that. And I'm going to pick up a load going down to the LA area tomorrow.
Right.
So, do I like, dude? Charlie and I were talking about this. One of the reasons that my mileage is up a little bit is, again, I do things that I don't want to do necessarily. It loads up into Oregon and Washington and
Right.
LA. Ugh. But it's where the work is. Uh, Now I probably will get stuck in LA from what I'm hearing.
Right.
Like scary stuck, Charlie.
Yeah.
There's guys that have been stuck there for 6 days.
Wow.
6 days.
That ain't right, man.
Well, there's nothing down there.
That's just
Lincoln said that
brutal.
yesterday they were still 200 loads short.
Wow.
So, you know, um, but it's a choice. Do I get stuck in Laramie and be cold, or do I get stuck in LA and not be cold?
Right.
I'm gonna get stuck either way, guys, and I know that. So yeah, bear hunters going to Fargo. Where are you going to Fargo, North Dakota
Right.
for?
It just sounds like a bad idea.
Don't you
Oh,
know?
don't you know?
Hey, hey, hey! Is that your buddy, the wood chipper?
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Seriously. I'm just been clicking through these comments as we go. CW had a fair point. Usually you can run that US 30 over there to get to Rollins and all that. You're
Yep.
like, nope, it's closed too today. So there you go.
Yeah, it's just a mess. It's a
Good
mess.
God. It's crazy.
But this is something that people don't think to do, and I actually brought this up both in our private Facebook group and in the more public Swift drivers group. And I said, "Hey, are you guys checking the weather before you leave somewhere?" You
Hey,
know,
that's a new name. Sorry. I'm fascinated by that. Say that name.
I don't know.
Yeah. As Viegens do many. I don't. I feel like I'm probably saying something in another language is wrong,
Right.
but I don't
Huh.
know. I like it. I don't know. I'm claiming ignorance. I dig it. Hey, man, good to see you. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah.
That was a new name, and it fascinated me.
But yeah, I mean, it's a habit that Charlie and I got into. Charlie, not so much anymore because he's doing that week target stuff. But when you were OTR, especially in the wintertime, you were checking the weather before you started your pre-trip, right?
Right.
You know, there's some strategy to that because I don't want to start my pre-trip if I can't go anywhere. You know,
Chris Hamilton figured out technology. Everybody, round of applause for Chris Hamilton. Throw up some thumbs. Throw up some claps, y'all. Look, this guy's been trying to figure out how to get in here to actually comment. He's been having problems. He watches the show for like the last few weeks straight,
hmm
but he hasn't been able to comment. So he texts me, and I'm a terrible person or not. I don't know. I don't look at the text a whole lot when we're doing the show, right? Because I'm trying to pay attention to the show, and I catch the text afterwards. So then I start answering questions after the show, and he's like, uh, you know, anyhow, shout out Chris Hamilton. He's still waiting on a brand new truck. Like he's all squared away. He's everything set up. He's got his Seabright ready. He's got an ES card at the house in his pocket already. He's still running for his other
wait, wait,
company.
wait, 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 wait.
Yep, go ahead, bring it to me. I was waiting for that.
He got his Seabright already
He's already got his Seabright
ahead of
wait
time.
ready. Yes, they just need a VIN number, truck number, and numbers. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
Stop it. Stop. I know we can stop it.
Well, I'm not going to completely go there, but
But you did, and I like it anyhow. So yeah, but he's got his. I mean, he's got all these things set up. He just doesn't have a damn truck because they don't have any standard lease trucks. All they have is Freightliner MRPs right now, and that's not what he wants, and that's fine. I tried to talk him out of it, but whatever. He knows what he wants, and that's fine. He understands all those things. It's a decision, and that's his thing. But I'm just glad you're able to comment now, brother. I'm pretty happy about that. Jim Wall, good to see you. Hey, didn't you talk to Jim Wall?
I did. And
And
he does not look like that in person, by the way.
right,
Uh, he
what did he
that
say about me, Jeff?
he said you're annoying, dude.
Thank you, thank you.
But
Look, I ain't
but
even mad
but
'cause he ain't
but
wrong.
but he did say he's gotten used to you.
Look, man. I dig it, bro. You ain't gonna hurt my feelings, man. We're good. I thought it was hilarious. I'm like, I could totally see that. Like, I annoy me. I'm just saying. So I didn't mean to bust you out, Jim. It's cool, bro. We're all right, man. James Vaughn, good to see you, buddy. I'm a little fired up. I got to get past this migraine. I'm trying to fake myself out of it. You know that whole fake it till you make it thing.
hmm
I'm a little jacked up on caffeine right now, trying to get some things going. Whew. Oh,
We got Donna up there.
hi, Donna. Oh, look, John C. Don't even need to read it. It'll be bad for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Look, but I don't want to just bury my head in the sand and all of a sudden get blindsided either.
right.
So we're gonna try and get through this thing. And look, it ain't happening today, but they're officially posting this thing on the registry tomorrow as the final rule. But the ATA and some other folks are absolutely planning on fighting this thing in court immediately.
Yeah.
So it's a thing, you know. Uh, back
Well,
to Craig.
what we've been talking about this for 2 years, Charlie. What's the worst case scenario here? The absolute worst case scenario is that our business model gets deemed not legitimate.
Right.
So the reason we pay attention to this stuff is Charlie and I already know what we're going to do. We're going to find a way to stay in business.
Right. That
And
means
you
our
need to
own
be thinking
numbers. That
about that.
means our own numbers. Look. I don't
Yeah.
want my own numbers. I'm not gonna lie. I toyed with it. It's a rough deal right now, especially right now, man.
Yeah.
Boy, they couldn't be doing this at the worst time, though, if you think about it.
Or the best time for whatever it is they're trying to do.
Right? Yeah. Good for them. Bad for us. Right?
I mean, if you listen to, there's a lecture out there on great courses on how to think like an economist,
Right.
and the professor points out that don't if you're going to think like an economist, don't think about whether you agree or disagree with a policy. Just
Right.
look at it in, does this policy meet the agenda that those people have? And then you can see, okay, it does. So this is what they're really trying to do.
Right.
You look at it that way. And that allows you to, in business, prepare for that eventuality.
Yeah. It's being informed leaves you in a position where you're not forced to do one thing that you didn't know about. Right. I mean, at least this way, maybe we'll have some heads up and some decisions we can make on our own. Maybe some of you out there decide, screw it, I'm going back to be a company guy, whatever, man, and just whatever. And that's fine. Look, man, that's a decision.
Yeah.
Uh, we've all got that choice to make at some point, I'm sure. And hell, we've all had to make that decision a couple times over the last year.
Right.
I mean, with the market being what it's been and just everything else. And man,
Well,
uh,
I just had a conversation on social media with a dude today, and the same thing I say to everybody: look, man, if you're done, you're done. I get it. I'm not going to say you're bad. I'm not going to say
right,
any of that. But if you have any fight left in you at all, there's some things that you can do if you want to stay in business. If you're done, you're done, though. I
right.
completely understand.
I'm just fighting till there's no fight left in me.
Yep.
I can't. James Bond, good to see you. Jonah Green, good evening. All the rest of you folks, I've been clicking through here. Sorry, I've been putting your little things up. Hey, Jeff, Chris
Mm.
Hamilton, I failed. Chris, I apologize, buddy. He wants to know your
My formula for
yep. And I was
okay.
supposed to ask you, and I keep forgetting because I'm a bad
I'll
person.
dig it up and get it posted to the group.
Cool. And he's
I
in the
mean,
group.
I could tell you real
Dude, he
quick.
even has an active driver code without a truck right now, which is
Okay.
not the normal. I mean, that's how ready this
What's
guy
he
is to go.
what's he doing to make a living then?
He's still got another trucking job.
Oh,
Smart
okay.
guy. Hasn't left the other one yet.
What the hell?
Right? Dude, I'm telling you, this guy is fire right here. I love this guy.
Okay.
He's done so
I
many
mean,
things ahead of time. Oh God, so ahead of the curve.
just really quick so everybody knows that may not be part of the group that we're going to post this in. Because it's pretty easy with the ES Advantage card. It's the discount card that we prefer. It is a prepaid card, so you have to fund it before you can use it. And the way I do it, whenever I run out of money or whatever, I've had to refund it a couple times in the last couple of years. Um, if you just start with $500 and you use that $500 that week, now, so that fuel purchase is not going to show up on your settlement at all. You're not going to get charged by Swift for
Right.
it. So here's what you do. Let's say you got your fuel at a TA, because that's one of the ones that we can actually mention. Um, and the pump price is $3.89, and your price was $3. You go in and get your receipt, and you hold on to that receipt. So you got your one fill up at the discount that week. Okay. You put the amount of money back into the account when you get your settlement. You put the amount that's on that receipt,
Right.
not what you paid, the amount that's on that receipt.
So you're paying back the amount you paid plus the savings.
So I call it paying the discount forward into your card. So you saved your $80 or whatever it is. So you're in the money.
Right.
And in my spreadsheet, what I figured out was if you do this consistently every week, it does take time, about 5 months, and you'll have $5,000 on that card. And then what you can do, and there's a reason for that magic $5,000 number,
Right.
and that's for solo guys. You have to figure it out if you're a team, because I have no freaking clue how many miles you guys run. But
I think it's upward to 7,500, almost 10, even 10 grand wouldn't be horrible.
Right. So the reason for the 5,000 is because what you want to do is you want to cash flow the card. So you want at least 2-3 weeks worth of fuel purchasing power on that card at all times. That way, once you've got your $5,000, then you're going to see the
Right.
profits from it, because all you're going to do is you're going to fill it back up to that 5 grand every Monday, and you're going to roll that. So you're never out of fuel money. You're going to have those times where if you're using mud flap or oh, I got it. What's the other one, Charlie? The one we
There's
use when we're on con data.
fuel book.
Fuel book. There's times where you find a better price out there with those apps.
Right. Absolutely.
Use it. The point is to get the lowest price.
Right.
The ES Advantage fuel card is just one tool in your toolbox.
Right. I mean, it's a great tool. Don't get us wrong, but it ain't always the best, and they
Right.
know that. They ain't gonna get mad at you.
I mean, especially if you're in Texas, man, QT is really, really
They are usually
competitive.
pretty good.
I mean, yeah, they're now some of them. You look at it, you're like, can I even get my truck in there? Well, they have
Right.
truck fuel pumps, so I must be able to get it in there, right? But
Some of 'em are sketchy.
what are you willing to do for that price?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, back before we found the ES card, Charlie and I were using Fuel Book, and there were times when I would go into these places, dirt lot,
Right.
even the fuel island was dirt.
Oh my God.
But you know what I would notice, Charlie? I talked about this at the time. I was the only Swift guy in there,
Right.
and everybody else in there were guys with their own numbers.
And they're looking
So
at
I'm
you like,
like,
how'd you find out about this?
yeah. So I'm just like, it's kind of like, how you find the best ethnic food, whether it's Chinese or Mexican or
Right.
whatever. You go to where the Mexicans and the Chinese are eating.
Right.
You
Exactly. Oh man, I-90's closed now apparently in Washington, Jeff.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I skirted over that. So here's something that's interesting about that weather up there. So I was going westbound into Seattle, and the chain law was up. Here's another thing you guys can do. So I told them, hey, I don't want to do the chain thing. I'm going to route through Portland and go north on I-5. And they rerouted me and paid me that extra 50 miles,
Yep.
just so you know.
He didn't
Now,
demand it.
I just told them what I was doing, and that's what they ended up doing.
They adjusted their route. They're like, hey, that's a great idea. Safety, safety, all right.
So then I'm coming eastbound, right? No chain law, so I go up over Snoqualmie. Not even 24 hours later, dry pavement.
Right.
Not a single bit of anything on it. And then today, chain law's back up.
And the damn road's closed. TK's in Ontario right now, Jeff.
California or Oregon?
I'm guessing Cali.
Yeah.
Jim Trucker said he'll be in LA tonight for a pickup tomorrow. There you go.
Well, maybe there's hope for me.
Dennis is in Paris, Texas, 27 degrees at the receiver at 9 a.m. Victor Jackson, buenas tardes, hermano. I
gotta call James out. James, that is so cheating.
Right?
That's not even
Lives in
man.
Mexico, has a Mexican wife. I'm just saying. That's legit, bro.
Yep.
Oh man. Let's see. Oh, and CW said the winds are 20 miles an hour slower on US 30 right now compared to I-80.
Yeah.
That's something. Hey Donna, sorry, I didn't mean to skip you. I was working on it. Let's see. Oh yeah, and Chris has Trucker CFO already set up. Dude, this guy's on fire, man. I love it. Oh my god. Disha. Sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to break your ears. What's up? I ain't seen you in a minute, girl. Dang, like for real, like God. I haven't worked enough in the last few weeks. I don't even know. Are you still over there at Target? I hope you're doing all right. I haven't seen you in a minute. Greg Spears said stuck in California up and down the 5. Hey, at least you're moving up and down the 5 and not just sitting in LA.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, never give up, never surrender. Wait, you're quoting Galaxy Quest? I think that isn't that a Goonies quote first?
I don't think so.
I need a time frame. I need dates. I'm gonna have to look it up. I will look it up. The hell with everybody. Oh,
That's where I've seen you before. Charlie, say Baby Ruth.
no. You see what you're trying to do there.
And James Vaughn is in Phoenix if anyone wants to hang out with him. I'm pretty sure he's easy to find.
He is absolutely easy to find. Uh, Tim the Trucker Sayburn. He's on vacation in Gatlinburg for the week. Not sure how long I'll tune in. We'll be heading out to dinner at some point. Hey, man. I say take
Nice.
us along and put us on the table. What the hell? You know what? I should send him the link and we can just make him a part of the show and we'll like watch him eat dinner and continue on with the show. We'll put him on the third screen here and we're saying,
There you
okay,
go.
maybe that'd be weird. I don't know, but it sounds funny. Oh man. Disha said she's a wimp. She's gonna stick to Florida. Don't be scared. I'm with you. I ain't leaving either.
You got flooding there though, so
Right? 5
snow or flood.
tornadoes up in
Which
the
one do you want?
panhandle already today. 5 tornadoes up in the panhandle, like destructive tornadoes. Buildings smashed, blown up, look like matchstick buildings. I was just going through the news on that, and I was like, oh my God. I'm glad it didn't hit here like that. But the night's still young. We're under a tornado warning till 2 o'clock, apparently. I don't know. Jonah Green said it was 76 degrees today in Laredo. It was that here. It was just blowing crazy wind and stuff. It was awesome.
Dennis is actually on his way to Virginia right now. Glad to see you're moving, Dennis.
Right?
That's a good thing.
Uh-oh, Jeff Bear wants me to open phone lines. I can do that. Give me a couple minutes.
Okay.
We can do that. Let's see. Tuned at the Mountain Loft Resort. Oh, CW lives about 45 minutes from there. He said, look at that. The winds last night
There you
were
go.
blowing like a hurricane in Gatlinburg, was flooding this afternoon due to all. Yeah, like, so there was like a crazy storm that moved up ahead of the one that I'm getting down here in Florida that went up through Atlanta and all that nonsense yesterday. And dude, when I was looking at the radar on that, Rosie and I skated around the outside. We just kind of whoop right past it, right? And that thing on the map was crazy dark reds and purples even. And
Wow.
the darker it gets, the heavier the thunderstorm is. And I was like, I'm glad I'm not up in that Atlanta mess right now. Good God. Disha. Yeah, she said, yeah, I asked about you. They said Rosie's getting you back together. I'm home tonight, was in Cape Coral. It was bad. It was, right? I made it back to Ocala before the rain hit. It was that wind today was something else, and it got crazy. Like it was insane for here, especially for right this time of year. I mean, usually we get a little rain here and there and like that kind of mess. But a pop-up thunderstorm that was just wrecking stuff, man. I was like, holy crap.
Huh. Yeah, I just
CW. He's like, yeah, the winds are terrible. I have a tin roof and it rattled all night. That sucks. I love hearing rain on those
is
roofs.
is it a hot tin roof and is there a cat?
Or is it tin roof rusted? My bad.
Wow.
You're welcome for that one, Jeff. You weren't expecting that one, were you? I don't think anybody's ears were ready for that. Hell, mine weren't ready for that. Oh Lord. So yeah, we will have to dip into this economic reality test to determine economic dependence nonsense, which apparently is paragraph 795.110 in this thing. Holy crap, it's a lot. Why do they have to make this stuff so long and so complicated? Oh, yeah, so that the average Joe can't understand it or ever find it. That's why. I'm so tired of government. Is that wrong? I don't think that's wrong. Glad to see everybody's doing well, though. Oh, CW said, Mama says, 40 buildings destroyed and 5 people killed so far in Florida. That sucks, man. Look, the way that thing was blowing through, I don't doubt it. It's yeah.
Yeah. That's in Little Rock. Arkansas.
Arkansas. Uh, what's this? I got an email from ATBS on the BOI stuff today. They included a link to fill it out. Went ahead and took care of it. It wasn't that hard at all.
Okay,
Cool.
that's good to know.
Yep. 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 I had to think
I'm
for a minute.
probably I'm probably gonna procrastinate it until I have to do it because
Right.
I mean, let's be real. So don't do what I do, guys, on this one. This is absolutely bad. And every accountant I've ever had has actually yelled at me about this.
Right.
I have never paid my quarterlies. Now, this does cost me money, just so you know. It absolutely cost me money in penalties. But I am not giving those people anything until I absolutely have to. It's
Right.
just my little rebellion, man. And so I'll probably do the same thing with the BOI thing.
Yeah.
I'll probably get a call from Colton and say, dude, you're going to jail. Why haven't you filled that out yet? Ah, shoot, let me take care of that.
I'm gonna do this phone thing. Get it set up, Jeff. I'm gonna pass this off to you for a minute.
Yeah.
Be right back.
So yeah, I mean, if you choose to exercise your somewhat right to civil disobedience, just realize that it costs you money. There was where I got the idea from is there's actually this guy that's one of the Microsoft millionaires, and he doesn't pay his taxes at all until the IRS literally comes out to his ranch in Montana and knocks on his door and says, "Hey, it's time to pay your taxes." And that's his civil disobedience. And I sat through a kind of a lecture. I don't think guys like that are allowed on TED Talks, but it was something similar. And he said, this actually does cost me millions of dollars every time I do this, but hey, it gets me on TV for 15 minutes every 4 years. And I'm like, you know what? I could do something similar with my business. So there you go. I don't go to that extreme, but it is it brings me some joy to exercise that. Laid off my deal. What? Um, I'm gonna let Charlie do that one because I don't know Florida enough to. Um, Laid off my DL, moving all the planners to Phoenix. Went to Phoenix and they moved Justin Muniz, owner operator guy, to the body shop. Oh, so he. I have to be nice here. Um, yeah, Charlie's telling me no, no, no.
Careful. Stop talking, sir.
I am glad that Justin is employed.
Yes.
I like Justin a lot.
Yes.
Unfortunately, when you're in a sales position, though, they kind of expect you to sell trucks. And the recruiters right now, just for you guys at Swift that don't know what's going on with the division, the recruiters are under a lot of pressure right now. I mean, they're all like, even Michelle, our favorite recruiter, is like, yeah, I got to produce numbers, guys. I can't just talk to you on the phone. You know, they got to work to keep their jobs right now, and that seems to be, Charlie, the entire office staff.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's a thing, and I've been telling people in the group, look, don't be the fat because they're trimming fat. Now is not the time to be fat, y'all. Don't be an anchor on anybody's bottom line because you ain't gonna make it.
Oh, hey, this reefer needs to just stay there. Don't back all the way in. You're giving me great lighting.
Right?
Look at that. Lit me up, man.
Stage, bro. Hey, Chris Hamilton said Michelle found him a truck.
Oh, nice.
So there's some breaking news. Chris will have a truck on Thursday, it looks like.
Excellent. I'm sure you already know this, but we'll say this for the whole group. Make sure you don't sign anything till you've actually inspected that truck.
Right. Go over it with a fine-tooth comb.
And if you have the money, very few people do. Let's be real, Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
If you have the money while you're under that 30-day they fix everything thing, see if you can't get it to some place like Pittsburgh Power if you're already in Ohio.
Anywhere with a good dyno.
Get it on the dyno and have them do their thing. because they will give you a printout, and if there's anything wrong with that truck, it'll be on that printout. You can take it to IAL and say, fix these things.
Right. All right. So people like Bear Hunter, if anyone wants to call in, the phones are open. 813 Live SEC. That's 813-548-3722. If you want to call in, bear with me. Sometimes I don't see it right away because it's on a different screen, and I got to look at that screen.
Right. Yeah. So we originally heard this as a rumor from some folks, but yeah, the reefer division has been moved to Phoenix, so you guys know. I don't know how they're going to manage that. I don't know what's going to happen with the reefer division, but yeah. So this might be a positive thing for guys like me, Charlie, that like live in Utah,
Right.
because the support for drive-in out of Salt Lake City has not been awesome. And if they're no longer doing reefer out of here, maybe that'll change.
Right. We'll see.
We'll see. I mean, the actual OOC they have here, his name is Osama. Really great guy.
Funny name.
But
I'm wrong. I apologize.
But yeah, it's been a reefer terminal for like 2,000 years. So the support here has been kind of lacking. So we're kind of hoping that changes now.
Look at that. She found you at 24. Good job, Chris. Sweet. Definitely go over it though, man, and definitely climb around that thing. Make sure that the stuff is there, and make sure you got an owner manual, because getting one later is going to be a next to impossible. Good luck. Jeff can tell you all about that. Look, you want to trigger Jeff? I just did.
I'm one of those weird guys that actually reads the owner manual. And so my truck did not have one in it, and nobody can answer me where I get one. So if you guys know where to get an owner's manual for a 22 Cascadia, that'd be great. Yeah, I think they owe me one. That's just what I'm saying.
I think this is Sean on the phone, and the Google thing says, "Our Hunter seat right insurance story."
Did he have a wreck?
I don't know, man. Let's find out. Let's bring him in. Sean, I'm thinking that's you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Look at that. Yeah. Our Hunter seat right insurance story. That's what it picked up from you, you marble mouth.
That's freaking awesome.
That's awesome.
No, I have a Seabright story.
Okay.
I mean, it's off topic, but
man,
nothing is off topic, Sean.
That's right.
True. Coyote Hunter took out one of those wild Texas dogs in Oklahoma the other day.
Oh, nice.
Dead center on the bumper.
Great.
You know what's dead center on a bumper on a Kenworth?
Uh-huh.
$13,000 estimate.
What the?
How much?
All I got was a little bitty piece of the bumper and the radar. 13 grand.
Oh my God.
Holy smokes.
Right. They gave me the adjuster's information. I called the adjuster. The adjuster said, send me pics, send me a location, send me a date and time. Okay. The next morning he called. He said, okay, you got a quote yet? And I said, I'll have one this afternoon. Got that back to him. He called me back about 6 hours later and said, where would you like the check sent to?
Wow.
2 days.
Bro, I love it.
Right. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm digging it. You know, and
digging it.
That's just one of those things, you know, like that really was an easy claim. You know what I mean? Not a lot of factors in it, not a lot of things involved. I mean, sometimes they're a little more in depth or involved, and you know, they got to wait for police reports and all this other stuff. But man, these guys, I mean, they shine in those cases too. But on a thing like this, that's just amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good God, 13 grand for smashing a dog.
Yeah, the bear was only 2,300.
Right.
I mean,
good
hello.
God. What the hell is going on, man? That is insane. I mean, that dog you guys must have smacked that dog just perfect, you know?
She hit him dead center.
Good.
And he cracked the radar. So for 2 weeks, we've had no radar, no collision management, no cruise control.
So what you're saying is peace of mind?
My ankle looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger's arm.
Oh yeah, no cruise
One
for
of
you, huh?
those. Yeah.
No cruise.
It's funny how
yeah,
lazy we get
it's
with
going to
that,
be
right?
taken care of next week.
Nice,
Right.
very
Well,
cool.
you know, I find myself going, crap, I have to actually drive the truck today. Like when it's inclement weather, you know?
Yeah,
Well, that's good news.
that's another story. Inclement weather. Had a load going down to Louisiana down the coast.
Mm-hmm.
Company driver said, I don't want to go to the storm. So I lost that load to Port Charles.
Great.
And I ended up in Hoover, Louisiana last night, or Hoover, Alabama,
Yep.
right
Yep.
below Birmingham.
Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I
I'm
deliver
headed
there all
back
the time.
now. I get my load. Guess what? Same story. Company driver doesn't want to go to North Dakota. So I'm going to Fargo and Minot.
Well, all
Okay.
right.
It's miles. It's miles.
So wait, are you still on the Hobby Lobby thing?
Anyway, I am. Still
Okay.
running, of course, team, but still running around 4,500, 5,000 miles a week.
Nice. Nice.
It's working.
Very cool. I'm glad that because look, for those of
So
you
on that, though,
Bear
they're
Hunter
going to
had
get
a
you.
whole bunch of different things he was working at different times.
So they're going to get you back out of there. So you have kind of a
Right.
way out.
It is. It's there and back. I may come back empty. I may come back with a vendor load, or I may come back with their trash. But it's get there, unload, turn around, and come back. There's no question whether I'm going to sit. I don't sit at shippers or
Nice.
outside the DC. I may sit in the yard, but
right. Hey, Sean. Tim the Trucker Saber is asking, do you have to live near Oklahoma City to get on that Hobby Lobby account?
You do have to live within a certain radius, and there are no openings right now.
There you go, Tim. Sorry for that, but definitely keep the feelers out,
only,
man.
Yeah, no. As soon as we get an opening, I'll throw it up, dude. But like I said, it's only teams. There's no solo routes at all available with us right now.
And this is one of those things where I would tell someone, look, if you're interested in an account like that, even though they're not taking people right now, it doesn't hurt to call and have a conversation. Yeah, and be like, hey, well, if something pops up, let me know, and I'll be your huckleberry.
Yeah, and it's also worth it if
for Michelle.
Yeah, it's also worth it, guys, to if you find yourself unloading in Oklahoma City or around there, to go into the terminal and talk to the guy.
Right.
Yeah,
that's in charge of Hobby Lobby and say, hey, you need anything done?
Yeah, we've got Michelle, we've got Stacy, and there's Kat in the evenings. There are 3 girls dedicated to the hobby account. You deal with them, only them, and it's a good family deal. They take care of you. But yeah, absolutely. If you get in the area, want to go talk to them, their offices are wide open. You scan your badge, go in. They're all sitting in there, full access.
Yeah.
Pretty relaxed, laid back terminal.
Hey, Jeff, Matt just wanted to trigger you a little bit as well. He said he's got all the manuals for his truck. They're still in a Ziploc bag and everything. So there you go.
Yeah.
You're welcome for that.
Anyway,
good job,
I just
Matt.
wanted to throw out that Sea Bright story. I'll get back to
Sean, brother. Thank you, man. That's a good one,
it.
bro.
No problem. Have a good night, guys.
All right, brother. You too. So yeah, there you go. You want to call in? The phones are still open. I'll leave them open for the rest of the show. What the heck? Just send me a quick message saying, "Hey, tell me if I don't answer your call real quick," because sometimes I don't see that screen. It happens. Tim Trucker Saber, and also we were talking about earlier about you drove for Walmart dedicated for another carrier for 20 years ago, including reefer units. Any specific thing I need to do to transfer to it if it's a better opportunity than dry van OTR?
All right. You make a phone call, basically.
Yeah.
And say, hey, tell me about reefer. I'm not entirely up on what their contract is right now. Are they still doing that weird surcharge on all miles thing like they were doing?
I don't know what they're doing. I think the Walmarts are different, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. If you're talking about the Walmart dedicated, your best bet is when you find yourself near one,
Yeah, literally go in and talk to them.
Yeah, don't call. Like, go in,
Yeah,
preferably
find a place to
bobtail,
dump. Yeah, I was gonna say find a place to dump your trailer and go
because
in bobtail.
the guards will just think that you're dedicated and let
Right.
you in because they don't check. And
Yeah, I'm
go in and
going into
talk
the
to them.
Swift office.
I mean, the last one I tried was Corinne. You know, I was dropping a load there before Christmas, and I just walked in the office and said, "Hey, you guys need any help through the holidays?" The answer was kind of scary, by the way, just so you know.
Right.
The answer was that they just let 30 surge guys. They kicked them to the curb.
Right.
They got rid of all their surge that week before Christmas. Figure that
Michael
one out,
Fowler,
Charlie.
hi. Sorry.
So
Michael Fowler sitting in Jonestown. Lots of rain, winds 24 miles an hour, gusts into 47. Yeah, it's like
yeah.
everywhere. It's crazy right now. Oh man. Randy said, I doubt Hobby Lobby has any solo owner operator spots available. That's probably a true statement.
No, but you know the best one I did for them was they hauled those short containers down to Dallas. It's empty down to Dallas and loaded coming back up, and it's 2 trips, and they pay you loaded miles the whole way. And you can turn that one of those every day as a solo. You can do 2 of them as a team. That was really great.
Right. Hey Tim, go enjoy that dinner, man. Your vacation, brother. Thanks for popping in on your free time, man. We appreciate that. Yeah, honestly, seriously.
See, I knew that you were being facetious. You didn't know what the hell you were talking about. What Matt is doing is offering me his manuals because he's ordering a new truck this year.
Right. He wasn't poking you at all. No, not at all. Oh God.
Matt's a nice guy.
But now he just admitted that he's going to steal those other manuals, and Michelle watches this show from time to time. She's gonna be like, "No, Matt, I need those manuals for the next guy, not Jeff. We specifically didn't give him manuals because reading and stuff. Not enough pictures for Jeff. Sorry, my bad.
Charlie.
I need the pictures. Let's be real. Words. What are those? What are squiggly lines? I don't like them.
That's no
man.
joke.
For real, I hate reading.
Charlie is an audible guy.
Yes. I need to hear stuff. I need to heard it. I heard it. Then I'm good. Unless it's numbers. Numbers they do pretty good with usually.
Which is weird.
Rosie was asking me the other day, she's like, I gotta look up that trailer number. And I'm like, 82670, babe. And I still remember that's actually the trailer number that we were talking about. And she's like, what? I don't know. Numbers make sense to me. I'm just saying. They're my language. I wish I could actually read binary. That would be interesting. I know people that can do that. Read the whole sequence of ones and zeros and know what it means. I'm like, you're weird, bro.
My son Mike does that.
I bet he does, honestly.
Oh, what did you
guy,
learn? What did you learn this week that really just blew your mind, Charlie?
Dude.
Talk about ones and zeros.
Right. The what the hell is it called, Jeff? Damn it. I've had 2 migraines today. You have to forgive me here. What the hell is it called, Jeff?
Bit flip.
The bit flip. Yes. That was awesome. They think that might be a huge cause of the blue screen of death on computers. And it's random, like space stuff getting
Yeah,
you.
it's cosmic rays coming from the sun that might be causing some of your blue screens of death.
It literally will go in and change a code, like a binary code, and it'll flip over and add a 1 or a 0 in a weird place. And I'm like, what the? Oh my God. They even went as far to say that they believe that could be part of some of the genetic mutations that have happened over time. They believe that there is a chance that some of these genetic mutations that, I don't know, made a bird walk or made a fish fly, rather, right? Could have been one of these random
cosmic rays that flipped a switch in the genetics.
Right? Yeah. How crazy is that? And I can't remember what the box was called, but I want one, and Mike needs to build this one, Jeff. I told you that earlier. We need one of those in our trucks. because I want to see. This thing will let you see one of these random things flip through. It's some sort of chemical cool thing in a sealed glass box, and it'll light up. And you're like, oh, that was one of those things. And you're like, that was magic in a box.
Yep. You can see cosmic rays with this thing.
Freaking magic. What about the fuel surcharge, Trucker Dan? Well, you know what, sir? You ask, and look at this. Watch. Padow, there it is. 0.421 for you Swift guys out there. Your standard OTR fuel surcharge is 0.421 for loaded dispatch miles, and the West Coast fuel surcharge bump is still at 11 cents. Had it gone up 0.006 cents, had that spread changed that much, it would have been 12 cents, but it didn't, so it's not. It's still 11 cents.
Yeah.
There you go. Jeff's like, dang it.
Darn Swift.
You're right. It must be Swift's fault. They're controlling the fuel prices in the country.
Well, you know what? If Swift had a YouTube show, maybe they could control that a little better.
Stop it. Stop it.
Charlie and I got our feelings hurt this week a little bit, so it happens.
It does.
Can't let some things go sometimes.
See, okay, I'm going to dip into this real fast. Someone said that we get all this special treatment because of the YouTube channel. I retorted back and said that no, we have access to these people because we had these relationships with people like, I don't know. I go back 4 VPs in the owner operator division where I've been a thorn in their backside, okay, and been involved in trying to get a load board and all these other things and advocating for contractors. 4 vice presidents now through the owner operator division. That is, for you guys that have been around, that's been a minute, okay? And I say, we get access to these people because of the relationships before that allow us to bring them to the show, and they're willing to talk to us because they know we're not complete and total jack donkeys. Thank you. See how good? Look, I corrected myself, Jeff.
Yay.
I stopped it before it happened. But anyhow, so there, look, we get special treatment. I'll admit it. You want to know why? Not because of the YouTube channel, because we've built relationships over the course of the last 15, 18 years with these people, communicating, being the person they can count on to deliver a load on time without a big problem and not being a pain in the butt.
There it is. James Vaughn, of course, knows what it is because he's smart. Cloud chamber. That's what it was.
All it is, just dry ice, alcohol, and black. Look, I don't care what it is. I
still want my son to build me one.
Yeah, we need Michael to build this one because that's. Look, I don't care. I'll fight him. I think I can fight him. I'm old. He's super smart. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, but now he has something to live for, so I don't know.
Well.
And yes, Matt Niss and I have a 22 Freightliner.
Boop, 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 boop. Live on 18 Wheels. Good to see you, buddy. Craig Hutchinson. Relationships matter. Abso-freaking-lutely. TK said agreed.
I see Jim Wallace still watching us. So Jim, who is one of our Founders Club members of our community, I did call you out in the community because Jim's got this really cool thing he did, Charlie.
Yeah.
He took his catwalk out, took his spare tire rack out. He's got a toolbox that sits between his frame rails.
That sounds dirty for some reason in my
opinion. I would love, Jim, if you would take a picture of that sometimes and post it in the Mighty Networks community.
That'd be awesome.
So guys can see it. And then tell us how much it cost and where you got it and all that stuff. Because that's we've had other people, Sean, buy toolboxes that are too big. So you can't hit the trailer. And I think that's a great solution.
Or causing like a 19-foot gap between the trailer and the truck. Yeah. Oh, I love that guy. Just picking on you, Sean. We love you, man. Don't be mad. He said he's going to take a picture of it. Quit busting his nuts. See, Jim, I got your back, bro.
Yep. CW app, IO80 sells them.
Yep.
But yeah,
Indeed.
especially you guys, if you're using like the max mileage like we do, if you spill even a drop of that stuff in your side box, dude, you're gonna get high.
Right? Ain't no joke, man.
You're gonna be huffing that for like a week.
You know what else is it goes good between the frame rail and they
Battery
actually
box.
make it. Yeah, there's a battery box because that's where Chewy's batteries were. So
Mhm.
if you're ever thinking about building maybe an extra battery box, there is a battery box that fits between the frame rails. Will hold 4 batteries, the whole 9 yards. It's got a hump for the drive shaft and like it's pretty cool because look, I love that on Chewy. And I like that the batteries were not directly under the cab, so when one went bad, you weren't sucking rotten eggs right away,
Right.
you know? So, I mean, that was a thing. But yeah, dude, there's a lot of cool boxes that fit between frame rails for different things. But that toolbox idea is a fabulous one. And how deep was it? How deep was the box?
Well, it couldn't be any deeper than the drive shaft, but
I'm just curious. That's all. Don't yell at me. Why are you yelling at me, Jeff? I'm just asking a question, bro. We tell people don't be afraid to ask questions, and then you yell at me for asking a question. What the heck is going on around here? I don't even know what to do. You know what? You better stop with your YouTube privilege, sir. My bad. My bad. Look, my headache went away. Like for real, went away. It's gone. It's not there. My eyes not wigging out. I like it.
yeah, Craig made the mistake I'm talking about. He spilled a few drops and smelled it in the truck for a
For
week.
real.
Yeah. I tell
Dude,
you what, so I've got these gloves and I don't want to get up and get them right now. The gloves you use to fuel with the rubber
uh-huh.
palms and all that stuff. I spilled some of that max mileage on them and it melted that freaking rubber back on 2 of the fingers.
No joke, man.
So don't get it on your hands, guys. Yeah.
Definitely don't finger paint with it. That's probably detrimental.
Oh, I've got stories about that are not appropriate for the show.
I was thinking the same type of stories. I'll bet you. Old profession, old place I used to work. Whatever.
Finger plate
Yep.
painting with
Stop it. Stop it. Gonna get in
the
trouble. So Jim said he's gonna check. CW says 23 by 13 by 18 with a notch for the drive shaft. Yep. Those things are awesome, like for real.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something I forgot. You screwed me up with the finger painting. Dang it, Jeff.
I'm just saying.
Just broke my brain.
Um,
It was a squirrel. Squirrel got me.
So here's something that someone posted on the private Facebook group. One of our members was having a hard time getting a problem with his suspension diagnosed.
Oh, yeah.
Finally took it to a shop and they said, "Oh yeah, that's leaf springs."
Nice.
And I asked him, I said, "So how many miles on the truck?" Because Bruce tells people every 500,000 miles you got to change that stuff.
Right.
And he's right there. He's like at 490,000 miles. New leaf springs.
I was super so with Chewy, I was super lucky with Chewy, right? Like I literally didn't change that clutch in that truck for almost 1 million miles. First clutch that I ever had. And it was the factory clutch. They verified that. It was absolutely the factory clutch. And everybody's like, how the hell did you do that? I'm like, well, I float the gears. I don't use it a ton, right? I mean, it's a thing, well over 1 million for the transmission. I mean, that kind of thing. I don't know. You take care of these things and a lot of them will go longer, but you look at the averages, right? And Bruce has access to a lot more of those averages than, my one-offs, right? I just have my personal experience. I'm like, I don't know. I went over 1 million. And he's like, you're a lucky bastard. And I'm like, thank you, sir.
Well, I remember there was a caller into one of the shows that Bruce was on years ago. And it was a lady, and he asked her, because she was having a similar problem to what our member was. And he asked her, well, when's the last time you changed the leaf springs? Well, I never have. Well, how many miles are on the truck? 890,000.
Right.
And the man was speechless for a good 10 seconds.
Right.
He's like, well, I would say even if that doesn't end up being the problem, just change them out because you definitely got your money out of those leaf springs.
Hey, and this is what look. Any of you guys are gonna go change your leaf springs? Okay, a lot of these places charge you to dispose of those leaf springs. Okay,
Or you can
because
make
they're
knives
so
out of it.
heavy. That's what I was gonna say. If you don't want it, throw one of them in your truck and bring it to me. I'll give you $20 a spring. How's
Mike
that?
would. Mike has a forge. He would love those.
That's what I will make a forge just for it because I screwed up and I didn't get my leaf springs because I was in Texas
Mm,
and I was angry and I left and I was mad.
happens.
You know. Wait, no, I lie. I wasn't in Texas. I was here in Ocala, but I was mad when it went down because I wasn't expecting it. I ended up basically having the whole front end rebuilt. Most of those parts were rebuilt, except for the tie rods and all that. Like all
Mhm.
the springy parts were all replaced because wore out, whatever. And I
They do
forgot,
that.
and I was angry, and I was like, "Dang it!" And I wanted those leaf springs because I wanted to make knives out of it because that's some of the greatest metal around. Spring
Mhm.
metal's awesome. And truck spring metal, come on, forget about it. You could make swords that would cut down Godzilla. Just saying. Whatever. I get real
Yeah.
excited about that stuff. That would be awesome. I want a sword that'll cut down Godzilla.
I saw a commercial the other day on the socials because I'm addicted to that stuff. For it was a Japanese commercial for Koji Insurance.
Oh,
It was hilarious.
nice. Oh my gosh. Hey, how is everybody doing this week? It's been kind of a interesting week for sure for many. I only worked one day, but I can guess what? I did a thing this week. Like I only ran 670 miles with a lease truck,
Payment.
payment, the whole 9 yards, and I have money going in the bank this week.
Yep.
I actually have a 300 and some odd, I think it's like 370-ish profit going in the bank with only 670 miles. Just throwing it out there, not trying to be a jerk, just saying.
But
I babied the hell out of this load.
but
Go
here
ahead.
we go. Yep. But
I babied the hell out of this load
you.
and did not have to buy fuel this week
Yep.
for that one load because I had banked on a tank before, came back out with a full tank, ran from home up to the DC, up into Atlanta, did my stores, back down to Tifton, Georgia, picked up my back haul, back down to the DC and back home. I'm still over a quarter tank. I've got to get fuel Thursday when I go back out, but I managed to make this week not be negative. Had I gotten the fuel that I needed, I would have been $57 in the hole this week
That's still not
on that
bad
one
for a
load,
600-mile load.
right? Just saying, just throwing it out there.
And we actually had a deeper discussion than that, Charlie, if we want to go into that.
Oh, absolutely. Go for it. You know, I ain't scared.
Because part of our discussion was, okay, do you think fuel is going to go up or down next week?
Right.
Well, it's been on a downward trend for the last 2 months. We didn't even see the regular bump in price for Christmas that we normally see. So it's a fairly good bet, but it is still a bet, right?
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
none of us have a crystal ball, but it's a pretty good bet
I've got rotten
that
luck, though.
fuel will be cheaper when will be less expensive when Charlie comes back out on the road.
Right.
So you roll those dice sometimes when
Oh,
you're
I
doing the fuel
definitely did.
purchase game.
I just didn't want to have a negative settlement this week. That was really my goal, was to try and break zero.
Right.
I had no revenue for the week. I worked one day. I went to work Sunday night because of look, y'all know I had the flu. I mean, I just can't freaking win with health right now. So I'm trying and I'm better right now. I'm a whole lot better right now, which I'm pretty happy about. But yeah, it's just one thing after another. And wait, this triggered another Facebook thing, Jeff.
Mm.
Not doing what we preach.
Nobody does.
So we got called out, and that's fine. Look, we ain't mad. I don't want anyone. Okay, let me speak for myself. I'm not mad about anything right now. Well, okay, there is Not going to go there. Has nothing to do with this. Different thing. I'm not mad. So someone pointed out to us that you know, you guys tell us to do these things, and yet, you know, Charlie, you went out and you got a brand new truck instead of fixing Chewy. But that wasn't the whole story of why I parked Chewy.
Or
You know,
why I parked my 16.
right. You know, we both have reasons and we can talk. We've talked about them before, and we can definitely talk about them more whenever you guys want. But what I said in the Facebook group was, well, okay, Chewy's suspension is not conducive to me and my good health. The
Right.
older Freightliners are tremendously painful. You know, the motor was still sound. There was motor work that I wanted to have done, which was replacing all of the seals, which required a full out of frame to be done. And if I did a full out of frame, the way that I wanted it done was $70,000 and probably 6 to 12 months of wait time at the time.
Right. Because this
Okay.
was right in the middle of no parts availability.
Right. So the choice I made was I ended up with neck surgery, got the scar right here and a steel plate in my neck to prove it.
And we have a video from the time proving
good stuff.
that, yeah, he was
Neck
Batman
brace,
for about an
day
hour.
of surgery. It was awesome. And so there were these things that contributed to that. It wasn't that I didn't just not have the money to fix Chewy. Chewy, I can go get in Chewy today. I got to put new batteries in her. But she will start if I put brand new batteries in her right now. She will start and I can go drive her and put her to work. Nothing wrong with my motor other than the weeping that's coming out of the seals that had me a little worried.
Mhm.
And that's 1.7 million miles on original factory seals.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, you know, it doesn't make what we, you know, recommend or suggest or preach or teach or whatever you want to look at. It doesn't make what we're saying less valid or invalid. The things that we recommend you do, like getting that nest egg, saving up for those big repairs, looking at those things ahead of time and trying to prepare for them before they happen, is not bad advice. But we are human. We do have lives. We have problems that pop up. My health, Jeff's other things. I mean, there's a lot of things that happen, and then we make decisions at the time that we need to make. Right?
And that's what it is. The main point that we hope you guys get from what we talk about is, I usually say something, but it's a swear, and Donna will get upset with me.
Ooh, you better not.
Own your stuff.
That's right.
And you know what I normally say.
Own your poop.
Anyway, that's right. Own your poop. We tell our daughters that all the time. Own your poop. Stop yelling at your brother. You know?
Exactly. That's fair right there. I could totally hear that too.
You know, so during this conversation, I just said, you know, you're not wrong.
Right.
I should have had the money to fix the 16. I didn't, but there is a reason for that. I moved I spent
Damn
a
good
year.
reason if you ask me.
I spent a whole year. My highest net year, guys, was pretty close to 140 solo. But I did not spend much time at home
And not mentoring.
and not mentoring.
I feel that's
And I
important.
did that because I was trying to get my family moved from Oregon to Utah. Now, if any of you have actually, you know, it's one thing to move down the street because you want a nicer house.
Right.
Try moving a state sometime and what that
Yeah.
costs.
Yeah.
So I basically spent all my money between the 16 was at 600,000 miles, so there was a bunch of maintenance that needed to be done at that point. So that was around 20 grand right there
Right.
that I stroked a check for.
Yay,
Jeff.
Yeah,
I just
right.
stroked a check for it.
It was awesome.
And the hotel bills, because when the truck started acting up on me, I was in Opelika, Alabama.
Course. Yeah.
And I'm
Georgia.
like, well, there's these shops in Georgia that have a good reputation, so I'm going to use those instead of going home, and then I'll just go back to Opelika. But of course, I spent 2 weeks getting the truck fixed,
Right.
which meant Opelika said, "Hey, man, yeah, are you coming back or what?" I'm like, "I don't know. Let me talk to the shop." They're like, "Well, you could go OTR." Anyway.
Right. Exactly.
But so here's my mistake, Charlie, and I want people to hear this because we try to be 100% transparent. Here's the mistake I made. I assumed that I was going to maintain that 2,800 to 3,200 miles a week,
Right.
and that I was going to be able to save that 40 grand back up within a year. You guys know what happened.
Right.
We're not getting 3,000 miles a week anymore.
Damn life.
And I quadrupled my mortgage, and I made
Right.
these choices 2 years ago that affect me now. Now, would I make the same decision again, knowing what I know now? Absolutely. That's my privilege as the business owner.
Right.
And I could tell you that my family's life is so much better in Utah, and it has some things to do with my special needs son.
I was
and
going to
things
say,
like that.
just Pete's school all by itself was worth every
You
damn
know,
penny.
if you guys don't know, I have a special needs son, and the Oregon education system just was not good for that. Utah has a great special needs program, very well supported, and it's been great. So would I still make that decision? Absolutely. As a dad,
It's changed
priceless.
his life from everything I've heard.
Well, yeah. So my Pete has a severe ADHD. That's his special need, and some other things. He's dysgraphic and dyslexic, both.
What's this graphic?
Donna would explain it better than me.
Okay.
But dyslexic is how you read, and dysgraphic is how you write. Is the
Okay.
best way to explain it.
Okay.
So he has not, from the time he went to kindergarten, he could not get to grade level. He just hit grade level. So would I make the same decision? Absolutely, for him.
Right.
And you know, when people call me out or whatever, oh, you should have done this.
Right.
No, I shouldn't have. I should have done exactly what I did as a father.
Right.
I mean, I'm always telling my kids, you don't understand the sacrifices that we make for you. Kids never understood. I didn't understand the sacrifices my parents made until I was 40.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
It's crazy.
So yeah. Oh, and they were talking earlier. So my wife Donna, she has an impacted tooth right now, an
Yeah.
abscess.
I'm sorry, Donna.
She needs a root canal and all that stuff.
I
So
have
she's in
skills
pain.
as a tooth puller. I have been called surgeon Dr. Charlie. We have this thing where you come
Man,
out into my garage. I feed you a little bit of tequila and I get out some mostly clean. I'm telling you, this truly happened. And because I wouldn't do it for my buddy at first. He's like, man, I got this tooth. I got to get it out. I don't want to go to the dentist because, he's a hard country Florida man. Anyhow. And I'm like, bro, I ain't doing that. You're crazy, right? And then he got my son to try and do it. My son slipped off his tooth 4 times. And I just saw the pain. I'm like, damn it, give me the stupid pliers. And I walked in there and yeah. I'm just saying I could help you out.
you know what my grandpa used to do if you had a loose tooth and you were one of his grandkids? He'd be like, no, I've got my hands behind me. I'm not going to pull it. Just let me look. Just let me look.
Right.
This dude had lightning reflexes, my granddad.
Nice.
And he would be like, pew, and it's gone.
What happened? What? That's great.
So yeah, yeah, I mean, guys, we're human, and that's part of what we think makes us
Thank you, Donna.
that's part of what we think sets us apart from other people that kind of do what we do, is we're totally transparent, man. We make a mistake, a misstep, we're going to tell you about it. And the reason is this, because if someone had coached us back in the day with all the mistakes we made, we might be in a better place today.
Oh, absolutely.
Someone has said, hey, dude, I see you're about ready to do this thing. I did that, and here's how it went.
Jeff, had we not made some of the mistakes that we made, it would not have led us down the path that it led us. You and I never probably would have ever crossed paths. Because look, Jeff and I are really different people. Like, I don't know that if we hadn't gotten to know each other, we wouldn't have found things in common to be friends to start with, right? Because we're both pretty solitary people. We're both kind of walk around sometimes, right? And Jeff's got this resting face that back in the day, I'm sure some of you who've been around since we started this channel have seen the change in Jeff's face, because you could never get Jeff to smile. Like what's on his face right now is a smile. Back then, and now he'll actually laugh and smile, which is kind of a cool thing. For anyone that knows him from back in the day, I'm just saying it's a big difference. But so I mean, had we not gone down these paths, right, with all of the struggles and trials and tribulations, right, which made us what we are today, the people we are today, and got our paths to cross certain people. Look, man, if I was just doing great all the time and never made no mistakes, look, what would I have to share?
Right.
I'd just be like, I'm doing great. Pound sand, everybody else. I don't know that we would have done this type of thing. So I'm glad that these things have happened. And you know what? I ask that you guys remember that, Jeff and I are, I'm going to say it, a couple of jackasses on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right. But we're here trying to share some of the mistakes that we've made in the past. And we hope that you guys will learn from some of them. And some of you are going to just make the same mistake over because you're like, I could do it better. I could do it different, even though you're doing the same thing, which is cool. Whatever. I mean, that's just part of life and part of learning and growing. Right. But man, I don't even know where I was going anymore. I lost it. I apologize.
You're good, man. You're good. Life on 18 wheels. Yes, we talked about that earlier in the show. The weather is kicking almost everybody's butt.
Donna doesn't want my services, Jeff. I don't know why.
It's the tequila.
Look, I will go buy brand new pliers for you, Donna. I will go hit up Harbor Freight. I'm not buying like Snap-on. That's crazy. I'm only going to use them once for your tooth.
Yeah.
Oh, mad love. I'm just saying. Yeah, dude, life on 18 wheels, bro. Look, I'm not even out trucking and the weather's whooping us today. Okay. I'm just saying, man. Dude, like there's crazy weather everywhere. It's baffling. I don't even understand what's going on.
Right.
Hey, there is news on our podcast front.
Yes, there is.
We have officially 3 episodes, which actually is kind of repurposed information, but we broke it into 3 different episodes. Our producer people, we're actually going to have a meeting about that after the show that Jeff and I, so we can't be late tonight. We do have a meeting later tonight. But that is going to be coming out pretty soon. As soon as we have a real date, we'll let you guys know. It'll be out there on, like your Spotify's and stuff like that. So that'll be cool.
Right.
That's where we're going to try and do some more focused type of information. Whereas, here we really just want to make the YouTube show and channel all about us,
your questions,
your questions, the community. I say us, the community, getting into questions, or when things pop up like this finalized rule thing that they put up today that kind of went unnoticed. I mean, honestly, but it's a thing, and it's going into effect March 11th, and it could be extremely detrimental to quite a few of us.
Yeah, it just depends on how they enforce it. We'll see.
So, I mean, there is a lot to figure out still there. So maybe we can find some smart people to really dive into that. That would be amazing. I almost want to reach out to someone at the ATA and be like, look, can you help us with this? Can you help us break this down? Because I'd really like to be able to put this out to people and say, hey, podcast episode, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That would be one that we need to put out right away.
And, there's 2 other things we're working on. Those of you that are already, we've moved our members that have already joined us over in our private community to a Founders Club group.
Yep.
And again, I can't thank you guys enough for supporting us. You guys, we are still here because of you guys.
Right.
Absolutely. And we get some backlash sometime because we are planning on charging for our services. And, the fact is that it costs us real cash dollars to do this. And I can't thank you guys enough for supporting us last year.
Right.
So if you haven't already seen the email, there is an email that you should have by now, telling you about your Founders Club membership.
Yeah, I don't know
To
if it
that.
went out as an email or as just a message on the group
Jim
itself.
says it. Jim said it was an email.
Okay, cool.
He's like, because he got it but didn't read it, and I said, "Oh well, this is what it is."
That's funny. Jim's like, ah.
The other thing we're working on for you guys not at Swift, okay? We are about 6 weeks from launching a legitimate partnership with Seabright for your insurance, and that's gonna be a thing, Charlie. That's gonna be
And I think it's going to be a game changer industry wide.
right.
And that's big
Because
words, man.
because what Tony has done is he's found some underwriters that are willing to put you guys outside of Swift in a group like Swift to get those discounts that we're getting the Swift guys, basically. Now it is good. I don't know how much we're supposed to talk about this, but I'm just talking. Um, if you're a bad driver and you know who you are, don't lie.
It's a thing.
Don't expect a whole lot. I mean, let's just be real. If you're a decent driver, but you got some dings, Tony will be able to save you some money there. And if you're an excellent driver, buckle up.
Right. Seriously, we got some amazing rates coming.
And part of what we're putting together on our end, guys, is I have kind of a new tagline, Charlie, that I've been testing out. I don't know if it'll stick or not, but we built this team of people. We've got Seabright, we've got Colton at Turker CFO, we've got the folks over at ES Success in Trucking. This is our team. These are the people that have helped us on the business side get to where we're at. And those relationships, man, I had no idea that one relationship would turn into 4 or 5.
Right.
But so our team is your team if you're a part of that community.
Right. And if you change carriers, that team moves with you.
Right.
You don't have to lose your team.
And Tony does this amazing thing that I'm going to call him out, and I know that he doesn't have time to watch the show that often, and it'll probably embarrass him, but we've already seen where and this is not unique to Swift. He does this with all of his clients. You lose your contract for some reason, and that dude will help you get another contract.
It's crazy. He has so many connections in the trucking industry. He's like, well, I got some people over at so and so, and let me see if I can't get you an in over there.
Yeah.
In fact, so I don't know how much we're actually ever supposed to talk about that, but we had one of our contractors well over a year ago lost their contract due to some incidents that they had. Let's just leave it that way. And Tony looked at this driver's incident history and found a carrier for this person where those types of incidents would not be a problem, and got this person set up with a really decent job. They're not a contractor anymore, but they were okay with that. They were happy to get this company position where they're actually doing really well financially, home every night, and not susceptible to the incidents that person had prior.
Right.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, he basically looked at the accident record and said, "Oh, you're having a problem with this specific type of accident.
Right.
I know this carrier that doesn't even have that equipment.
Right.
So let's get you over there."
It was awesome. We didn't even know about it. Like, we found out way after the fact, and I'm like, what?
But so I asked Tony, I said, so if we build this community and people are members of it, and just so you know, full disclosure ahead of time, membership in the community when we relaunch in a couple of weeks is going to be $10 a month. That's what it's going to be for the base thing. And we haven't figured out if we're gonna.
You bastards are charging for this free information.
Yeah, whatever.
Sorry.
But that's the type of stuff you're gonna get from it. It's not just our mugs in a video every month and a forum.
Right.
It's these relationships that we've built that we'll pass on to you.
We're working on a safety program.
Yep.
So that you can say my business has a safety program.
And that, with these new rules that are coming out, that could actually save your business.
Right. We've been thinking about
because
this stuff for quite
because
some time.
one of the things we were looking at is, what if AB5 went national? How do we keep our contract at Swift? Because Charlie and I make good money at Swift, right?
Right.
We look at other contracts, but we've never said, okay, that's good enough to where I wanted to take the leap. Okay.
Gotten
How
close.
do we maintain our business the way we're doing business if these laws actually go national? Well, the answer is separating yourself from the carrier enough to where you can say, I'm a contractor. I don't work for these people. So what the offer, quote unquote, is safety program, your own driver files that you have control over. One of the things that
A
most mega
digital
carriers,
cloud thing.
one of the things that most mega carriers, and let's be real, what is it? Probably 80% of owner operators are leased to mega carriers. Well, when you lose your contract at a mega carrier, how many miles have you driven safely? They're not going to tell you that when you're
I
not
think it was
contracted with them anymore.
500,000. Oh, can you show us that? Oh,
Right.
great. You can't get that access. Because when they terminate your contract, bro, you're locked out. Forget
Yep.
about it. You be lucky to
Yeah.
get a
So
copy of a
so
1099.
all of those records that a business owner should have, we'll have on the cloud for you. The relationships we built, and you don't have to take advantage of all of them to get the
Right.
value of what we're offering here. It's just that if you do take advantage of all of them, that's your biggest potential for savings.
Absolutely.
I mean, well, the fuel card is a good example, Charlie.
Yeah.
I don't always use the fuel card. Why?
Right.
Because sometimes I find a better price.
Right.
You use what you can use to move the needle forward for you. And yeah, so that's what we're working on. And I just wanted to put that out real quick, Charlie, that we aren't just doing YouTube and sitting on our butts the rest of the time.
So, Jeff, quick question. Has nothing to do with the show. Ready? It has to do with our meeting. 8 or 8:30.
What?
8 or
Is that
8:30.
your time?
Yeah.
8:30.
Okay.
You need time to go pee.
This is true. Flatters, old man. Hey, Beefy Line Maximus, who came out with that new ruling. It's not a new ruling. It is the official posting of the rule thing majigger that they put out. And they're saying that they've been talking about for quite some time. That would be our current administration that put that out. Transport Topics did a story today on a new rule will reclassify independent contractors as employees. The ATA to fight the March 11th implementation and the Julie Sue nomination as labor head. So there is some information out there on this. It's not great information right now today. I've seen several different articles in different places that I was trying to get through before the show, but damn, these headaches were kicking my butt today. But yeah, so the actual rulemaking itself is out there. Let me see. It's right now there's a PDF version of it on the Federal Register. I can tell you, not that I don't know if these will make sense to you. If you look up 2024-00067, that is the proposed rule, final rule of it. It's not the proposed rule. It is the final rule in a PDF format right now. Tomorrow will officially be posted on the Federal Register as the final rule. The ATA intends to fight this tooth and nail before this March 11th deadline, as well as several other big agencies and communities and clubs and associations. And there's going to be a court battle. So, Lord, I'm rooting for these guys. I don't care what you say about the ATA. This one I'm backing them on.
And I'll bring this up too, Charlie, so this is not something that we would directly get involved with, just so you guys know.
Right.
We don't want our community to be that political. We want to focus on you, the individual business owner, and helping you get to the next level. If you want to support the ATA, OIDA, whatever, any of these political action groups, go support them.
Do your thing.
That's not going to be us.
We ain't mad at you.
Know. Yeah, we have issues with some of those groups, so we don't support them financially.
But you know what's amazing? what I can get behind is the
Mm.
fact that people are saying, "Hey, you know what? I believe in this thing and this cause, and I'm going to put my business dollars where it matters."
Absolutely.
Whether
I
it's whether I think it's the right way or not, I think it's like voting.
Yeah,
I don't care which way you vote. I just want to know that you voted.
and that you voted your conscience.
Right. Right. Feel good about your vote. This year's going to be a rough vote. I'm just saying.
Well, I think I can say this because I'm hearing it on almost all of the podcasters and the social
Right.
media influencers that nobody wants either of these candidates to run. But here we are. I mean, that's where we're at. So,
Sometimes it's whatever you feel is the lesser of two evils.
so you know, I believe in participating in the system.
Right.
Um, you guys have watched me for a while, probably know how I vote just because of some of the things I say. But you have a different opinion. Make your vote. Stand up and say, I believe this.
Right.
That voting is a really weird thing if you get into the statistics of it, man. It's
Yeah.
it's a it yeah, each vote does actually count whether you think it does or not. Because that goes into the statistic model of what the society as a whole, the direction they want to go.
I've gone in, I've gotten dark on voting some years. I'm like, yeah, my vote doesn't matter. Look, there's an election where, there was quite a few elections earlier in my life where I was just like, why would I bother?
Yeah.
But you know what? Then I felt like a jerk face for complaining about whatever's in office or whatever
Yep.
policies were put into place. I'm like, well, dang, I feel stupid. I didn't even participate in this. I don't really feel like I have a voice. I feel like I may have an opinion, but I don't feel like I deserve to express it sometimes because I wasn't part of the process.
Well, what Larry Winget said in his book, People Are Idiots.
And I can prove it.
Yeah. The main reason he votes is because he wants the right to complain. If you don't vote, you don't have a right to complain.
Right.
And if any of you are familiar with Larry Winget's material, that dude loves to complain.
Yes. We will put some things out there. Love that guy. Larry Winget. Love that dude. Just saying. Oh, some of the best books I've ever listened to. Notice I say listen to.
Yeah.
Especially since he narrates them. It's great. So you get it in his words and his voice, and you're like, yeah.
That Oklahoma drawl.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim, I get what you're saying, but
Yeah,
if
Jim.
you live in a
Sorry.
state, like both of the states I've lived in, both Oregon and Utah, do vote by mail anyway. And I
Yeah,
usually
Jim
get
said it's hard to vote on the road.
I get my ballot about a month ahead of time. If you don't live in one of those states, you can request vote by mail,
Right.
and they'll get one to you early.
Life on 18 Wheels suggests planning your home time so you can vote. I think that's a fabulous thing.
Well, I remember when I was a kid, one of my earliest memories, and one of the reasons why, I told you, Charlie, that this year I've decided not to pay as much attention because I just don't want to get into it.
Right.
But I remember my mom taking me out of grade school so I could go with her
Right.
when she voted. That was a thing when we were kids.
Look, employers used to tell people, look, today's a day off. There was employers that used to pay you to go vote, not necessarily to vote, but so that you didn't feel like you couldn't vote because you're losing money that your family needs.
Right.
I mean, there was some of the other two, but that was whatever. But yeah, it's just so important. It's just
Yeah.
so important. I don't care which way you vote. Just get out and vote. Look, Rosie for years, because she was not a U.S. citizen, could not vote on anything that seemed really important to us. And don't think that once she became a citizen, boy, that woman was on it. She's like, I got a ballot. And look, we voted we completely nullified each other's votes one year, which was hilarious because we compared notes afterwards, right? And like everything I voted for, she voted the opposite. I'm like, "Rrr!" But you know what? Guess what? We didn't get mad. I actually thought it was funny personally, but
yeah.
But then, so this is what I did. I shared some educational materials, some informations, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
said, look, I'm not trying to tell you how to vote. I'm just trying to give you a little more information because she had a very single viewed input, right, for what she was basing her voting on,
Mm-hmm.
which is fine. She's a Latino female, brand new citizen, right? I mean, there's a very narrow focus group right there, right? And she was voting strictly based on some of that information and didn't have knowledge on other aspects of other things that she was actually voting on.
The
Didn't have the
unintended
time,
consequences.
right? And then later she's like, wow, look, I can tell you that she voted for Hillary,
Hmm.
right?
You
I'm
did
not,
not.
she voted for Hillary. I did not. And that was an interesting year. Come the following year, she voted. Okay, so she actually voted more based on Second Amendment type issues.
Mm-hmm.
That was her big focus that year, which was amazing because she's a Second Amendment person now, having become a citizen, legal training, firearms, yes, gun toting Southerner now. Watch out, y'all. I'm just saying. But it wasn't that I forced her in it because I don't care how she votes. I'm like, you vote as long as you're happy with your vote, you do you. I ain't gonna get mad at you. I'm glad you're voting. I'm glad you're part of the process. So, don't ever. And you know what? If you're worried about what anyone else thinks, just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Jeff and I don't openly discuss politics on here. There's a reason for that. Why piss off half the crowd?
Yeah. We're trying
No
to teach
matter,
you guys how to run a business, not
yeah. And it doesn't
anything
matter
else.
what side we take. I mean, look, I'm a guy that I could argue either side. I may feel dirty for arguing one side over the other, but I could argue either side.
Mm-hmm.
But why would I piss off half the people? Just for fun? Okay, that might have been me years and decades ago. That I might have been known for doing things like that just because it was fun. But yeah, no, not in my smart adult life. I'm just saying.
Even in Donna and I's perfect marriage, that's always been perfect, and we've always just been great.
Yes.
We don't always vote the same.
I heard thunder.
Yeah. I probably shouldn't say things like that when in
No,
the middle of a storm here.
right?
But no, there's always look, guys. If we've been married for 30 years, and
Congrats.
anybody that's been married for more than about 5 years knows that it's not always honeymoon.
Right.
But we've grown together. We understand each other better, and we went through some stuff. And yeah, so we don't always vote the same. We have different opinions, and you can't get mad at people for that. We have some good friends, Charlie, in Oregon, that are complete opposites to us politically. Complete opposites. Like down the ballot, it's going to be, I vote this way, they're going to vote that way.
Right.
Best of friends.
Right.
Love those people. Like to my core. And that's something I really think that we've lost here
Right.
in the last maybe 10 years, especially. Just things are so divided. And that's why we don't generally talk politics on the show, because it's just so divisive, man. So we'll bring up things like this ruling, this set of rules that's coming down, and talk about how it might affect your business.
Right.
We
I mean, what would you do if March 11th, this thing comes out and you are no longer a contractor?
mm-hmm.
What are you going to do? Crickets. Just saying. I know an awful
Yep.
lot of people that don't have any thought on it at all because they thought, oh, well, this could never happen. Well, apparently they're trying real damn hard right now.
Yep. And I know that they have an agenda. I know they think they're doing the right thing. Apparently, I don't understand why they think that's the right thing, but whatever. We'll deal with it when it comes.
Look, I like this comment right here. Election day should be a holiday and earlier than November. Too cold in many states. Just saying. Look, I'm thinking tax day, right around tax day, is a darn good time to be
For
voting.
general election. Yeah.
Right? Let's put the salt out there in that wound and let's really vote our conscience. I think there's like a thing there when tax day versus elections. I mean, they're pretty opposite in the calendar. I'm just saying, maybe I don't know. I don't know.
Yep.
CW, not a holiday. Too many government officials taking it off, right?
Yeah.
You know what we're saying. Dang it, Ismail. Thank you. I like your statement, man. I dig it for real. I think there's a thing there. It would be fabulous. So yeah, but hey, just so you know, by if any of you have any other things you'd like to talk about, just remember that this show is about trying to get to your questions and answering the things you want to talk about. So, Jeff and I will go off on these little tangents and things like that. We hope that it triggers other conversations. But if there's something that's not on that topic, don't hesitate. Put your question in the comments right now. If you're watching live, put it in the live chat.
Yeah. Charlie loves a good squirrel hunt.
Oh, absolutely. You
Give
can
him some
trigger me,
squirrels, man.
right? We can go deep. I'll start researching stuff and I'll find crazy places in the internet to answer stuff if I have to. Whatever. But yeah, so never hesitate during the live show if you're in the chat and all that sort of thing. Definitely put your questions in there and let's dive into those things while we have time. If you are watching this on the replay and you didn't catch us live, hey, that's cool. Comment down below.
Yeah, we got some pretty interesting comments in the last couple of weeks.
Someone busted me out for my pink chair.
About time.
Dude, it was dude, I love that comment. Wait, I gotta find it. That was hilarious. And where did it go? It is so much fun. I still don't know if the guy's busting me out or not, but I thought it was a great comment. Pink gaming chair and a blunt. Bro is living life. I was like, yes. Then I was like, I believe that's his wife's Hello Kitty gaming chair.
Yep.
His response to that was, that only makes it more awesome. I don't know where I stand with this guy, but I took it as all right.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks for the shout out. I like it. But yeah, so definitely that's what we want to make this live show is definitely all about what's going on right now. What questions do you have? Things like that. Maybe you got something that you've been thinking about for a while. Look, something that happens here could trigger us into a whole podcast episode down the road.
Yeah.
And maybe we bring you in for that podcast and maybe we bring in a really smart professional in whatever it is you were asking about. Right? I mean, there's absolute value in gold there, if you ask me. So I don't know. Oh, Jeff, Chris Hamilton asked, Jeff, have Trucker CFO. He has Trucker CFO. Also, anything else he can set up before he gets started? Man, this guy's on fire. Chris, you are like the poster child.
You're like the most squared away new owner operator at Swift I've ever seen.
Squared away. I like it.
I mean, I think that mainly.
Oh my God. Go ahead. Sorry, squirrel. Don't
mainly, I think that, and you probably already had this, and you're going to say, I already did that, but I'm going to say it anyway for everybody. Actually sit down with a journal. I use these little notebooks a lot of times. I do have a really nice journal that I enjoy writing in. Sit down and really write down what's your vision for 5 years from now.
Right.
Get it really detailed. And make that your, I'm going to offend people here, but make it your Bible for the next 5 years.
Oh, now you did it.
Get that vision down. I'm in the process of I'm in the process of building a small fleet. If that's what you want to do, get that in writing. There's something about writing, getting it down on paper that makes it more real than just, oh, I have this idea I'm going to do. I mean, Charlie and I even we talk a lot while we're driving. We have headsets, just so you know.
I got a tin can and a string. What are you talking about?
And we'll say stuff all the time. And we're about ready to start recording our phone conversations because we have these ideas, and then like a couple days later, we're like, what was that idea?
What was that
I
thing, bro?
I don't remember, man. Crap. You know.
Dang.
But
And they
yeah,
were gold at the time.
yeah, and so I really believe in the journaling exercises. Um, Shameless plug. I will be teaching that in the community
Right.
over the next few months. Really get into so a lot of you guys know me personally. A lot of you guys don't. So I'll just tell you, my background is actually in white collar. I used to be a salesperson for the phone company. I did this, I did that. But I like drink the Kool-Aid, Charlie, on all the like 7 habits of highly effective people and Tony Robbins and all these people. I mean, I spend money on that where Charlie spends money on cigars.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, legitimately. So that's kind of my passion and where I come from. And I see all the time. I don't care what the business is. We're just truck drivers. Well, it's still a business. Well, let's start acting like it. Let's get those plans down in writing. Um, it will benefit you in a very practical way too. If you ever go to a bank for a loan, like let's say you want to
Oh yeah.
get an Insta fleet, like people did back in 2020 and borrow, $1 million and buy 5 trucks.
Right.
You know, they were pretty much just giving money away, but you know what you had to have to get that money? A business plan in
Right.
writing, showing projections of profit and loss and all that stuff that
5 year, 10 year plans.
business people do, right? Um, so yeah, I would get to work on that. And then if you haven't already done it, read a couple of books on business. You're going to want to decide, when is it time for me to go S corp. You're going to want to decide, when is it time for me to add a truck, or if that's not something you want to figure out, that's not something don't want to do. I would encourage you though. I think everybody should at least look at growing a fleet. At least look at it. Sit down and do the numbers. Sit down with somebody that's done it, like Alan Becker, and say, what's the pitfalls really? What's it like having employees? You may discover you don't want any part of that, and that's cool. But you did your research. So I think at this stage you've set yourself up for success already. Now let's take that to the next level. Let's start planning for 5-10 years down the road. The fact is that Charlie and we're getting a little older. I don't know when my medical card's going to get pulled because of the diabetes. Charlie doesn't know if his next doctor's visit is going to end up with him a paraplegic. I mean, for
Right.
reals,
Like legit.
you know.
It's
So
day to day.
we're planning to get out of the trucks in the next 8 years or so. Growing a fleet, and we could just step back and run that fleet.
You know what another good book would be?
Mm.
Critical Conversations.
Yes, that
Okay.
one's amazing.
Look, and I'm actually going through it currently. Yeah, I know I've stepped out of fiction, whatever. But listen, listen. The main thing about this is Critical Conversations is one of those things where a lot of these times we're in right now, bad times, bad things going down, right? Our instinct is to snipe, whatever, right? Uh, Things like Critical Conversations is kind of guiding you through that, how to have that conversation without all of that craziness behind it, and have an adult professional conversation about these things, right?
Right.
Because you're gonna shut those people down if you come at them wrong. And these are people you need to help you, that you need to help. You need them to help you. I mean, these are not conversations you want dead before they get started.
Right. I mean, we have an example. Craig and I have an example from today on Facebook.
Yeah.
There was a guy. I'm done. I'm turning my keys in. Blah, blah, blah. And I jumped in and said, well, okay. He's been stuck somewhere for 4 days, whatever. I think that sounds a little long. So I decided, let's help this guy. And man, everything I said, well, I already did that, and I'm just done. And blah, 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 blah. And I finally asked him, and this got me and Craig blocked by him, by the way. Craig, you're probably laughing right now because
Badge of honor
you're a part of
sometimes.
this. Badge of honor. But I just asked him, I said, so if this worked for me and so many others, what's different about what you're doing?
Right.
That was the question. Is it my approach to these people? Is it my persistence of calling every hour on the hour to try and get a load?
Hey, Jeff, when you call every
What
hour,
is
are
it?
you like, what the hell's going on?
No. I mean, it's always a professional conversation, no matter how frustrated I might be, because I know better.
Can scream in a pillow afterwards. Just saying.
Oh, I've said it. You've heard me say this before, Charlie. My steering wheel gets a workout sometimes.
Right.
But I don't
Absolutely.
project that on my business relationships.
Poor abused steering wheel.
And so I always start the conversation with, hey, how you doing? Even though I just talked to you, 60, 90 minutes ago. Hey, how you doing? So where are we at? How's
Right.
how's the freight looking? I never say where the hell's my load,
Right.
ever. I say, how is freight? That's the key. How you talk to these people. How's the freight looking? Are we any better than we were an hour or two ago?
Right.
Because in a system like Swift, and this way at every mega carrier, they get loads booked throughout the day. So they might be short 50 loads at 8 o'clock in the morning, but throughout the day, more loads are booking. So by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe they got something. And maybe they remember that you've been on the ball and you got unloaded last night. Maybe they should get you moving.
Right.
Kindness goes a long way. Absolutely.
Yeah, I like when kindness goes a long way. CW said, be kind when you're out on the road, slow down and give the four-wheelers more space to do stupid stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair right there. I put it up. Craig had said, create more contacts for your business. Contacts matter. Absolutely.
Right.
And like CW says, makes for some great drive cam videos. Just saying.
Oh, yeah.
There's
So another good question from Chris. You're just like knocking it out of the park today.
Dig this, dude. I'm telling you, I like this guy.
These are the right questions, guys. If you're not asking these questions,
by the way, if you ever talk to him on the phone, Jeff,
you need to. How do I get a list of contacts, planners, etc.? We have a system for that here at Road Warrior Entrepreneurs. At Swift, we have this magic macro called the macro. Gosh, dang it! I'm getting them mixed up in my head. 10. There's several, but the macro 10 that goes directly to planners in whatever planning
area
you're in. So I will send them a message and I will word it this way. Hey, I'm just reaching out. I'm getting unloaded in the morning in your planning area, and I'm just wondering how freight is.
It's amazing. Well, that works right there.
Here's the thing that people get upset about is that these are busy people and they don't always pay attention to their messages. That is true. I myself take issue with that a little bit because it annoys me when they don't get back to me. But here's what I'm looking for, Chris. I'm looking for an answer like this. Well, right now we're 50 loads short. And our projection is that we should be even by tomorrow. Something like that. Something with an actual number, a base for a conversation. At the bottom of that message is going to be a direct message code, the person's employee ID number. When I get feedback like that from a planner, they go in my little black book.
Right.
Because at the bottom of every response they give you is their name, their employee code, and their direct phone number. So I have a list of planners with little check marks by them. Every interaction that I have with a planner gets written down, and then I start weeding them out. Which ones actually help me? So
and every chance you can to go into a terminal, understand again, these people are busy, but hey, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I had an interaction with so-and-so, John, and I was wondering if he's got a minute. I'd just like to say, hey, and thanks for the help or whatever. And building that relationship face to face. FaceTime is amazing.
Right. And here's here's again the human factor, Chris. I could give you my list. That list is not going to help you. I guarantee it. Because if you use that list, they're going to go, I don't know you met him.
Right.
It really is important that you build your own list. And it does take time.
Right.
But if you work the system, you're not going to get a list of contacts like Charlie and I because you haven't been here for 18 years. And this is something that Sue Smith does with people as well. She'll tell guys, yeah, I could give you the list of the planner contact information. It won't do you any good though because you don't know these people.
Right. They don't.
You got to
know
build
you,
your own
you don't know
list.
them.
Another show host says, "Do the hard work." This is doing the hard work.
Right.
Build your own relationships. We can teach you how to build those relationships, but we can't build them for you. That takes work from you guys.
Look, there's been many phone calls I've had with people on the phone. They're like, look, I got to call this planner and he's a jack monkey. And I am not okay with this conversation, bro. What do you think? And I'm like, okay, let's break it down. I'm like, this is what you're after. This is what you need. This is what happened. Ignore this part of it, right? Let's get rid of the bad. Understand that it's there. Maybe this person's just having a bad day. So when you call, maybe you start the conversation off this way. And maybe you use this word instead of that word that
right.
I like to use sometimes. And, you can just go about it that way. Sometimes just having someone to talk to about this before you make that call can be night and day difference.
Right.
And look, Life Idea 82 Wheels makes a valid point here. Notice that some planners don't have contact information when they reply to messages. You'll get their code, but that's it. Look, and you know what? Sometimes those are just not the helpful people.
Right.
They're out there.
They do go on my list though, just not the list they want to be on.
Right. I got like that. I try not to look at it.
Well, I'll give you an example. There's 2 ECT guys out of Troutdale that have been there since Jerry started the company, I swear.
Right. Yeah.
And they have 2 personalities, these 2 guys. They will either bend over backwards to help you or they'll literally tell you to F off.
And look, it can be either one of them any day.
And, you can kind of tell when they answer the phone which personality you're getting.
Yep.
But, every conversation I have with them, I start the same way. Hey, how you doing?
Right.
Sound like you might be busy, so let me be short.
Yeah.
I just need to get hooked to this trailer, man.
You're right.
And their anger just melts away.
Yeah, right.
I mean, part of it, Charlie, might be that these guys have been ECT for like 200 years.
Right. For real. My man Chip up there is something else. He's amazing. I love that guy.
Oh yeah, dude.
Boy, if he's not having a rough night, you can have some great conversations with that guy.
Dude, I thought he hated me for years.
Right.
Like had a personal grudge against me. And I found out it was just him being him. Right.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this thing. We're coming up on our time. We got a hard end on this one. I apologize for that. But we do try to keep these shows to right at that 2-hour limit. We're gonna go just over that. We just hit the 2-hour limit now.
Ding, ding.
Yeah, right. Oh, what? Bye. Oh, but no, seriously, I want to take the time in both of us on behalf of both of us and the entire community. Thank you for being here. Thank you for chipping in with your questions, your comments. Remember, most of the information we talk about comes from you guys. What is it that you need to? What help do you need? What are you having issues with? What questions, comments, things like that? It is purely driven by you guys. I mean, yeah, we've got our opinions on some things, and we'll come up with, this story out of yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The news agency, Transport Topics.
Yeah.
God knows I was broken, and so I thought, well, we should definitely talk about that for a little bit, and it did dominate part of the show, and I think it was a good thing. We still got a lot to learn about it, and I think there's a lot of things that are going to have to happen and come of that. So, stay tuned. And if you guys find out information on that, definitely share, comments in the groups, whatever. Text me if you wanna. I mean, most people, a great deal of people have my number. Let's just be real. Texting me is the best thing you could ever do, or PM me. Okay. Calling me is not always great. I try to make calls back, but I do forget about people that I got to call back.
It's about me sometimes.
It's true. But yeah, with all that being said, thank you guys for being here and being a part of the show. We will be here every Tuesday, 6 p.m. I mean, today was a little questionable whether or not either one of us were going to make it, which worked out great because we both did it and the power hasn't clicked. I'm pretty amazed by that.
It will right in the middle of our meeting with our podcast guy.
That's probably when it's going to happen. You're right. He's going to be like, where'd he go? I don't know. But yeah, seriously, keep your ears out. We're going to have some information coming on the private community that is set up for anyone that's not just Swift drivers and that sort of thing. And there's some stuff going to be happening with that. I think we're pretty excited about it. It's going to be a slower rollout, I believe, this time because we're a little quick on the last one. We want to make sure we're doing things a little bit differently. So we learned, definitely learned, definitely made some mistakes. And I think we made it up to those folks and we're good. So I'm hoping that you guys see what we're doing and that you will continue to support us in the things that we're doing and the things we're trying to do to help support you. So with that said, Jeff, any last words, buddy?
Stay safe, man. It's brutal out there.
For real. Don't be afraid to shut it down if you need to, guys. Swift is not, and any carrier, really. There shouldn't be a carrier out there that's pushing you to be unsafe. No load's worth it. You need to be able to get home to your most important stop. That's home, I hope, for most of you, or wherever that stop is. Whatever's most important to you, we need to be able to get there. So make good choices. Take care of each other. No one's out here looking after us but us, guys. And we will see you right here next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time on Contractors Corner. You, the Road Warrior entrepreneurs, keep us doing what we're doing. Thank you so much. And we will see you next